Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about using points of pressure. This round from Navi illustrates this concept very well and they execute it almost to perfection. In practice it won't always be this perfect, but you can get really close. So let's get started. So to start off, we're just going to see Navi set up in a regular default. They're going to have a couple of people going towards Ivy, one player going towards upper B, and they're going to start off by throwing the sandwich and E-box smokes. This is very typical. And then here we're going to see that Flamey's going to throw a Molotov towards upper B. Perfecto's going to throw a flash for lower to allow Flamey to peek towards lower, and they're just going to simply set up and hold for aggression. And what you're going to see in this round is that it doesn't end in some big set execute with a bunch of utility. It's really just going to be derived from a default. So meanwhile at Ivy, we're going to see Electronic. He's going to throw a Molotov at the Ivy entrance to prevent CT aggression. Boomich is going to have a flash ready towards the back. And then Simple Electronic, they're going to peek the Ivy entrance off of this flash. And after the flash goes through, they peek it. They don't really see anything, but they've established presence at Ivy now. So Perfecto is going to come back from that B side. He's going to get close towards his T-Con area. And Simple is going to come back with his op from Ivy. And he's simply just going to post up on T-Con, while Perfecto is going to throw a bit of utility. He's going to throw this Molotov as well as a flash. So now at this point, Navi have applied a little bit of pressure everywhere on the map. They've established a bit of presence towards this B side. They've established a bit of presence towards Ivy, and now they've established a bit of presence towards T-Com. So back at Ivy, we're going to see that Boomich is going to throw a smoke on the right side of Ivy. He's also going to throw a flash. And Electronic, he's going to peek this left side area. So now at this point, Navi have actually put a little bit of utility towards this Ivy area to suggest that they're actually going to be contesting this. So as that happens towards Ivy, we're going to see Flamey come back from that B side area to help with pushing in towards T-Con. However, at this moment, we're going to see the CTs, they're going to throw this deep smoke towards T-Con, and when this happens, I highly suggest that they're actually going to be taking this T-Con area. So now at this point, if the Ivy players decide to push, it's going to be very difficult for the Ts to actually be able to squeeze from the other side through T-Con. They're going to have to pass through the smoke. So two things need to happen. So the first thing is that these Ivy players need to wait, and the second thing is that because there's a player who could potentially be towards this T-Con area, one of these Ts should actually come back towards this ladder room area to add an additional angle of attack. By having that additional angle of attack, when these players push towards T-Con, the ladder player will be able to get the CT's fallback. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So Perfecto is going to leave T-Con and he's going to head towards this ladder room area. So now at this point, instead of having only 2 points of pressure, we're going to have 3 points of pressure where Perfecto is going to be going down towards ladder. And you're going to see that from the Ivy players, they're simply waiting for Perfecto's rotation to happen towards ladder. Electronic is playing anti-flash so that just in case the CTs decide to aggress at this time, they're still going to be ready for it. Now that Perfecto's made it over towards this ladder in position, you're going to see now that Navi have 3 points of pressure. 1 player at ladder, 2 players at Ivy, and 2 players at T-Con. Flamey from T-Con is going to make the first move. He's going to right click a flash. Simple's throwing a Molotov towards E-Box. But you're going to see here that Simple is actually not close enough towards Flamey for them to be able to have an effective push from this T-Con position. Flamey's solo here, and because of that, he doesn't fully swing out and try to challenge this angle right away. You're going to see that he only simply takes contact in on Blame F, he isn't fully pushing into T-Con. So from the Ivy players, we're going to see much more of a commitment. We're going to see Electronic, he's going to throw a smoke on the left side of Ivy, and just for reference, this is right around the same time as Flamey throwing this flash towards T-Con. Then Electronic's going to throw this flash for Boomich. Now right here at this one, we're going to see that these Ivy players are actually close enough for a trade to be possible. And because of that, Boomich is actually more than willing to actually swing out here and to create real pressure towards the CTs. Boomich ends up going down, but now Electronic is close enough to be able to trade. So if you look at this from Electronic's point of view, you're going to see he's going to make a pretty smart but risky decision here. So what's going to happen is that Boomich, he's going to go down, but Electronic, he's not going to immediately try to swing and trade off this kill. Instead, he's going to wait just a little bit, and you're going to see why right here. So as he comes out, you're going to see that Boomich dies to rush. Electronic, he waits just a little bit, and the whole reason why he's waiting just a little bit before peeking is because he actually wants Rush to think that Boomich was the sole Ivy lurk. And by waiting just this little time, Rush is actually going to turn around back towards T main, and this gives Electronic the window of opportunity to shoot him in the back. So to explain why Rush even turns around in the first place, this is because BlameF actually spots this player towards his T mid area. It's very common that when the Ts actually decide to hit this outer bomb site, that they're going to send more players out of this T mid area than any other choke point. However, this is not always the case. You're going to see that Rush even accounts for this as well. Sometimes teams will actually send more players towards Ivy, and sometimes they're going to send more players towards ladder. So Rush, when he gets his first kill on the Boomich, he actually waits to see if there's a second player that's going to come out. waiting to see if this is where the main push is coming from. Because he doesn't see anything, that's why he turns around, and that's why Electronic doesn't swing right away, is because he's trying to find this particular timing. And after Electronic gets his kill, you're going to see that he doesn't advance much forward, he basically just holds his ground. So if we go back to flamie's point of view, we're going to see he's going to aggress a little bit more after that kill towards that Ivy position. And the one thing to keep in mind right now is that Navi still have 3 points of pressure. They have this 1 player at Ivy, they now have 2 players at TCON, now that Simple's close enough to flamie, and they have 1 player at Ladder. If you consider this from the CT's point of view, however, they only really know about 2 points of pressure so far. They know about this Ivy kill that just happened, and they know from earlier that flamie was trying to challenge BlameF towards TCON. They don't yet know about this 3rd point of pressure at Ladder, and hence it's not worth it for this Ladder player to reveal his location yet. Instead, Navi should rely on these 2 groups here, and one of these 2 groups should make the next move. So because Electronic just got this kill at Ivy, the next group that should make the next move is these 2 players right here towards this TCON area. And you're going to see that's exactly what's going to happen, where flamie, he's going to swing over towards this E-Box area to get that next kill. So the next player to actually make a move after that E-Box kill is going to be Perfecto at Ladder Room. And just to give some context, I've backed up the round just a little bit to illustrate the fact that Config is throwing utility at Ladder Room, hence Perfecto knows that he's actually playing inside of it. So as this round pans out, here we're going to see those kills from Ivy. And then we're going to see that flamie's going to get this kill onto the E-Box player. And after that kill, it's in this moment where Perfecto is going to drop down towards this Ladder Room position and kill Config. And that's because he knows if there's going to be any time that Config is going to be looking away from this Ladder Room position, it would be right at that moment where he's trying to trade off his teammate at TCOM. And from Config's point of view, we can confirm that it's right at that moment where BlameF goes down, which causes Config to look over towards TCON as he's looking for a trade. So after Perfecto gets his kill onto Config, the CTs are now aware of all 3 points of pressure from the Ts. They know there's pressure at Ivy, they know there's pressure at TCON, and now finally they know there's pressure at Ladder Room. And you can see right here that Perfecto, he doesn't peek any further than just Ivy, he doesn't peek towards this bomb train area, and then he's just simply going to hold the flank at Ladder Room. And this is because if the CTs take him out at Ladder Room, they're going to know where the remaining 2 points of pressure are from this TCON and Ivy position, and it's going to make holding the A-bomb site a lot easier, especially with only 16 seconds remaining. So another important component is to identify whether or not you're actually an extremity player during a hit. So right here, you're going to see that Electronic and Perfecto are both extremity players, and as extremity players, you want to make sure that you don't die as much as possible after your location has been revealed. And that's because if you end up dying, your team is going to lose your point of pressure, and ultimately it's going to make it a lot easier for the CTs to hold off the rest of your team's push. So after your team has revealed all your points of pressure, the next thing you want to do is you want to look at each point of pressure and count how many people there are, because this is going to determine who actually aggresses next. So this one right here, you're going to see there's 1 at Ivy, 1 at Ladder, and 2 at TCOM. These 2 people at TCON should be the ones that actually aggress towards the site, and the players at the extremities should be looking for opportunities to try to squeeze the CTs from the side while they're preoccupied with the main push. You're going to see this is exactly what's going to happen, where Simple, he's going to come up on top of this red train here, he's going to be able to spot a player at Z as well as a player towards this bomb train area. And you're going to see the same thing from flamie here. You're going to notice that flamie, as soon as he spots this player towards this bomb train area, notice that he doesn't actually push this player. Instead, he's just trying to pressure this player just enough so that he starts making mistakes towards the extremity players. And at this point, the extremity players, they can get involved now because now they know the location of these CTs and they can position themselves to punish the mistakes of the CTs as they're getting pressured from the main push. And from the extremity players, you're going to see that after the information is there, Perfecto positions himself in such a way to be able to punish this player coming out of Z. And from Electronic's point of view, you're going to see that after the information is there, he's going to help his teammates with squeezing this last player. So if we look at this from Poison's point of view, we're going to appreciate how difficult it is to deal with this pressure. So initially his teammate dies towards that Ivy position, and then his teammate dies towards E-Box, and then his teammate dies towards Ladder Room. So he's aware of all 3 points of pressure here, however he has no idea in which order to look at them in. He tries to isolate fights by staying towards this bomb train area, but he sees a player towards red, he also sees a player towards sandwich. He tries to isolate this fight at Ivy, unfortunately by that time it's already too late. And the main thing to take away from this round is that Navi were able to win this round without using extensive utility like bomb train smokes or any huge set executes. They're able to win this round strictly by knowing exactly when and how to pressure. That's going to be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more future content. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next one.